The invasion mission is a hassle right now, but if you want to build the new Descendant named Haley, then you will need to invest time in doing the mission. Now, the new mission type will grant you more rewards if you finish the mission at the fastest time possible. By the way, you can only do 4 invasion missions in a day, and you can only do it while playing solo. The enemies are tough, as well as the bosses, and aside from that, you will solve puzzles, which gives you additional tasks to make the mission longer. Honestly, after trying several Descendants, it's pretty obvious that the new invasion mission is made for Bunny, and here's the current speedrunner build I have for this Descendant to help me complete all invasion missions at the fastest time possible. Currently, I am using a high voltage ultimate Bunny for that increase in damage on her lightning emission ability. Also, this is the highest possible damage build I can do with this character without sacrificing zooming and survivability. In case you are wondering what zooming means, this is the time wherein you activate your second ability to run faster in the map. This is crucial for speedrunning invasion missions, and to somehow allow me to use her second ability more often, I have decided to go with selective recovery for my MP, and then add a couple of MP modifier in my external components. This is really a tedious grind, but let me explain why it's worth it. In the past, I used the MP collector module for zooming, but there are invasion dungeons that have low mob density, and this ultimate module works better if there are tons of enemies in the area to kill. A good example of this is when running the Fortress Outskirts in White Knight Gulch. MP collector module will constantly activate because there are tons of enemies available to kill, but in the case of invasion missions, there are times wherein you will need to travel from one area to another without facing any enemies. That is why I decided to go with this rare module instead to help me regenerate MP while traveling into the area wherein you need to fight enemies or solve puzzles. Now, for increased damage, I would suggest going with the Slayer external component set that grants extra skill power to your abilities, but currently, my Slayer set is not that good as I am aiming to have health and as well as that MP modifier in my external components. Currently, I just use external components with both health or defense and the MP modifier so that I can use ultimate Bunny Speed of Light more often. This build allows you to clear mobs and defeat the boss in any invasion mission easily while using her lightning emission. The only thing you need to do is solve the puzzles in the invasion mission as fast as possible. The easiest would be solving the puzzle wherein you will need to step on a tile to reveal the combination to open the door to the next area, while the other one is kind of tricky and I spend like 20 minutes getting all the needed information to solve the puzzle. I'm talking about the invasion mission with container and drones. If you attack the containers, then it will reveal symbols in different slots. To solve this puzzle, simply reveal 2 symbols in their specific slot in the combination. After knowing this information, simply look for the drone that has the same combination and activate it. Try to stay in the circle or else the detonation will kill you. Once the drone is destroyed, pick up the weapon that it drops and shoot those eyes in the door to unlock it. You will need to find and destroy 2 drones in one area to move to the next location, and so far this is the most tricky one as it really increases the time you spend on the mission. I don't have any problem with the mobs and bosses, but the puzzle is sometimes the main reason why I'm close to not getting the highest tier reward in the invasion mission. Well, it's not a game mechanic issue, but a skill issue probably, and I think you can do better than me. Finally, I would like to talk about the inversion reinforcement in this video. Simply put, the inversion reinforcement device is a grid of passive effects that last for the entire season. These passives are displayed in a grid broken up into rows and columns. The inversion reinforcement passives are tiered by columns. For example, column 2 is locked until you spend a point in the first column. It's virtually identical to Destiny 2's seasonal artifact. Unlocking a perk is fairly easy. As you earn Ironheart particles from seasonal content, you'll earn perk points for the inversion device. These points are used to unlock new perk options. Bear in mind that you must enable that perk to receive any benefits. They don't do anything by default. You can only have 3 perks enabled at a time, and each passive must sit in a different row. You can't have 3 hunt perks active, for example. In Destiny 2, you can also respec your upgrades at any time. You can deselect perks from the inversion reinforcement menu, allowing you to respec upgrades. Doing so doesn't cost anything, so feel free to make changes as you see fit. Each row is divided into 5 columns, 4 of which are toggleable perks. Once you unlock every perk in a row, you will unlock a passive that is always active. For example, unlocking all passives in the hunt row will give you the enhanced pain suppression passive, reducing all damage you receive while any hunt perk is enabled. 5th column passives are always active, they don't need to be toggled, and don't contribute towards the 3 perk limit. I will be honest with you and say that these buffs are kind of trash at the moment, and only a few of them have minimal usage in real missions. Currently, I just the season upgrade, namely identify the energy source, and the selective neurostimulation to make invasion a little easier. The rest of the buffs are underwhelming, because if you see something that increases your stats big time, then it will have a very long cooldown and short duration. If not, then you will see a bunch of buffs that give you either power or survivability, but it will mess up your build since it also has negative effects such as increased kill cost. And I was very excited when the developers said that the seasonal upgrade would be something like Diablo 4. While I know some of you don't like seasonal stuff as it just stays for a couple of months and then it's gone, these upgrades do give you build diversity, and Diablo 4, one item can change a whole build every season. I was very hype about this, but after seeing all the upgrades, I was very disappointed because the worst part is they added an upgrade to the new ultimate weapon in this new inversion reinforcement system. Now, the buffs that you get from this at first are full of negatives, but later on, you will get buffs that have no negative effects. The only downside, though, is that the buffs are close to being unusable in real mission scenarios as they got some long-ass cooldown. The only thing that can save this new seasonal upgrade system now is that it has a secret mechanic near the end that unlocks the full potential of the buffs. Right now, the only notable thing that you get from inversion missions is the Haley parts and millions of gold, which you can easily get now in special operations. Other than that, it's just another hard mission intended for Bunny to brag that she can do it at the fastest time possible. So that's all about it. Before leaving, I would also like to know your thoughts about the current season of the first Descendant. Do you like the new season, or do you find it underwhelming? Let me know in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again in our next video. Squad Leader signing off.